Hello folks and welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Whew. Oof. I don't know, but I think the next days will be very volatile. We will see. I hope I'm absolutely wrong. I really hope I'm absolutely wrong. But very strange things happening. I like when I tweet something and you will find always just a smart guy saying, yeah, that's a healthy retrace. And you say, well, we have a lot of Bitcoins on the, yeah, I will remember your tweet next week. And I think, buddy, you are following me. I'm not following you. I don't care what you think. I mean, otherwise I would follow you. I'm not following you. A block. Jesus, some people are really pain in the ass. I don't know why, but it doesn't care. Many of them, of course, depends on crypto. And of course, they don't want to have a market crash, or I don't know. They will celebrate, of course, if the whole financial sector, the traditional one, would crash, because that could be an opportunity for Bitcoin. But that's great. That's okay. But if you say, hey, the crypto market could crash, you are pervert, you evil, you asshole, you are against democracy and free speech, and you think, I don't know. I really, if stupid people could fly, we would never see the sun. I'm absolutely sure about that. Oh my God. However, it doesn't matter. Let us talk a lot about some serious things, traditional finance, about what's happening to the US and what I think will happen next. Let us start. Credit Suisse. That's an old story. Yeah, it is. It is. Yes, it is an old story. But we are not done here. And, we remember 2008. We remember how the whole thing started. And yes, it wasn't related to Bitcoin or crypto, it was the traditional finance. They are also sometimes very creative when it comes to save your own ass. And that's what they did. And we remember that the US government just saved some companies, they took them over. It was transitory. They said just, it's fine. We will, if you pay back the loan, we will give you the company back. So we can bail you out just 10 years later. That's fine. We know the story will repeat because you're not going to change. And I'm absolutely sure it will happen. Anyway, we also had some other banks, for example, who didn't survive. And let us talk about Bear Stearns, for example, the bank that was founded 1923 and collapsed 2008. That was the last year where they closed their doors. Why the government just saved some banks and, for example, this particular one, just let them drop and said, that's fine. We will do it. That's great. Let them collapse. We don't care. Well, once again, the U.S. government was doing a strategy in favor of the U.S. economy. This particular bank had a lot of assets abroad, a lot in EU. That, of course, triggered also a financial crisis in the EU and European Union and in other countries. While, for example, those banks where the government just said, we are going to save them, many of them, if they would collapse, will have a bigger impact to the US economy. So they were smart enough to say, no, stop, let them crash, but this one, oh no, buddy, no, come on, we need to save them. So very smart. The US is always very smart, very, sometimes at least, nationalist, means they are always looking for the good, usually, compared to, the good of other countries, they don't care that much, but to the good of their own country. In my opinion, once again, it will happen again. They are doing things and they will not save those banks who are in context with the US economy. Big. Those who has much more operations outside, that's fine. We don't care, right? So I can imagine that will happen again. However, let us talk about, we know that the traditional finance is looking very weak at the moment. But also here, we need to split. We need to split between critical infrastructure, so those banks who are really, really, really crucial for your economy, and those who are not. Okay? So usually every bank, every big bank, but every bank, and we have some requirements you need to meet to be part of this classification. Also in Europe, for example, we have a big program for protection of critical infrastructure. That's also a hospital, police station, fire fighters, and so on and so forth. So, and partly, of course, the financial system. But, and now that's the big problem. The Fed has, right now, an inflation that holds. It's not declining. Okay? Now, the spending, so the consumer behavior is at the same time flipping, it seems. At least if we check what they released today, for example, we can see core retail sales in February. Previously, we had in January 2.4%. They were forecasting minus 0.1%. They were right. PPI, also very interesting. They were forecasting 0.3%. We did minus 0.1%. Be careful with the PPI. Retail sales February minus 0.3% expected and minus 0.4% indicating. So they forecasted that already. I guess partly because, it's seasonal and whatever. But the inflation maintains. It's holding. When people are just spending less money, usually you should have a better impact to the inflation, but it's not happening. Indicating it's neutralizing potentially an inflation that's lifting up even more. So let us now go back to the central bankers and why the Fed right now has three options. Option number one, let us play the hero. That will be my title. Let us play the hero. We will save the US traditional finance, and of course, save the whole world. Well, it's possible. What does that mean? Means to provide fresh liquidity, so we can play with more zero DTR options on SPY and SPX and invest more money to gamble and just moon Bitcoin afterwards. That would be, for example, one thing that I would say 99.9% of all of you would say, yes, baby, that's what we need. Okay? I don't want that. Not because I don't want that Bitcoin goes to moon or that we save the traditional finance. And the traditional finance is just the peak of the iceberg. We will come to the highlight. It's just because if we cut interest rates, if they start to pump fresh money to the market, inflation will go more up. inflation is not transitory, as we have learned. They said that, but it was a lie. However, what does that mean? It means inflation will go more up. Means inflation is like cancer. You know, it starts to make you ill. And you can take some medicine, pills, and make, you know, really crazy therapies to try to save yourself, but we know that the ratio is not that big. And inflation is exactly the same. It starts to eat the economy from the inside. It's not transitory. We know why it's not transitory. We have talked a lot of times about that. And that also means it will bring the whole economy to collapse. I mean, no doubt. We know that the inflation maintains there. Energy went down. People said, energy was the main driver. It was in the beginning one of the main driver. But then it shifted to other sectors, like services, for example. And we know that service inflation maintains very high. And they don't see anything they can do except to raise more interest rates. But that also means to bring more pressure to the financial sector. So, option number one, it's not good. It's really not good. Option number two is what they are doing, at the moment at least. Don't do anything. Close your eyes, close your mouth, close your ears, and say, nothing is happening, nothing is happening, nothing is happening. Try it 4 times in a row, and maybe it works. Usually it doesn't, but you can try. However, it will not help. From nothing, or at least if you are not taking any action, nothing will fix that. Okay, I need to say it in another way because that was wrong. Nothing will fix that, but we can try to delay it. So, third option, option number 1 is dirty. You can make some favors to some wealthy guys, but the mess will kill you. Option number 2, you can try 4 times in a row to say, close your eyes and so on and so forth. Maybe also use a rhetoric to calm down everyone, to say something like, yeah, we will do our best. And so that's the best you can do. So that's like the musicians on the Titanic waiting that the ship disappeared from the surface. Well, exactly the same. It could work. It could work. Mainly it doesn't, but you can try it. And the third one, it's also a very interesting one. It's to raise interest rates. But then we will go back to option 1. If we do that, we will bring more pressure to the finance sector. We can say, 10 banks, we can save maybe 5, and the other 5, fuck off, right? Why not? That's only the peak of the iceberg, I said, because we have a real estate bubble, not only in the US, not only in Europe. That's also a global red flag. We have shadow banks, private equity, hedge funds, all those who said, yeah, I'm going to become billionaire because I know I'm smart enough, the money is cheap, and I can make risky trades. I don't care. My collateral can be dog, whatever, and the bank will give me more loans. And if I have enough loans on the bank will be as much dependent from me like I will be dependent from them. It's different. If you go to your bank and you will need a loan of $20,000, be sure if you are not going to pay, they will send you the Marine Corps to your house. And take you everything, even your soul, if they can. But if you have, for example, a running loan of 500 millions, then it looks different. Then it's like, hey, can you please pay this month, please? No, mate, I don't have any liquidity here. I tried everything I can. Okay, listen, we give you a little bit more money, but please pay, please. The bank is just crying, please pay. And you can say, well, okay, send me another 100 million, then yeah, I think I will pay. It's so stupid, but it works. It works. It worked all the time. All the time. And now it doesn't work anymore. The bank is just saying, listen, guy, hey, my boss is behind and has a shotgun in his hands. I mean, come on, please. Otherwise, I kick your balls until I get the money back. Because we need the money. We really need the money. We don't have any money in the safe anymore. We have liquidity problems like you. So please do it otherwise. And this otherwise could let crash a huge bubble. The shadow bank bubble is even bigger than what we think is the iceberg. If we combine everything together, okay, we have a huge problem and no options. In Germany we say, ein Tod musst du sterben. You need to die one death. You will die. It doesn't matter. But you can, at least, you have two options. You can die hard or you can die soft. It depends on you. And that's the problem we have at the moment. And crypto is unfortunately not the alternative we wished. Because all these toxic actors who are doing something, we don't even know what they are doing because they are not transparent. We bring some attestation. Yeah, I can do the same to my tax agent and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to send you attestation. And he will say, yeah, I sent you some calves and some blue guys, and they will force you to make your tax report as I said you have to do it. So that's it. That's the whole story. That's the whole story. And of course that will not end well. While we also know that they are cutting every kind of liquidity to the crypto market as well. I mean, all three banks. I mean, with one exception, of course, Tether. Tether doesn't have any exposure. Not on Silvergate, not on Signature Bank, not on Silicon Valley Bank. I guess if you say all banks are collapsing, they will say, well, we don't have any exposure on any bank. Okay, come on. Are you fucking kidding me? Where's your liquidity coming? That would be a nice question. And then they will tell you, you shouldn't care. That's an unregulated market. We don't need to answer to this question. That's what Tether would say. That's so stupid. But that's part of it. That's the king of the toxic actors in this crypto market. Believe me or not, I don't care, but it is what it is. And I have mentioned so many times, since 2 years, without Tether, the crypto market will be a little bit better. Unfortunately, we have a lot of different toxic persons involved very deeply in this market. But crypto will not die. It is what it is. If we like it or not, We will receive a lot of pain, of course, and a lot of things will happen, but it will not die. Because, as mentioned so many times, it is the future. If I wouldn't be convinced of it, if I wouldn't know what the political agenda is, I would say be careful, cash out, go out, whatever. I mean, I cash out, but doesn't mean you need to do it. You know, I'm much more conservative trader than you, I guess. And so I prefer to invest my money transitory, we will say whole long, in other assets. And that's absolutely fine. Doesn't mean I will prevent or avoid. I just think that crypto will have a big pain in the next coming time because of regulation. That's not going to be particular a regulation in the US. Because even the Hong Kong watchdogs, as mentioned just a few weeks ago, they mentioned the global regulatory body. The global regulatory body. When I'm making this a little bit sarcasm voice, it's just to mention it is sarcasm. Yeah, it is sarcasm because it's globally. They want, I mean, we remember Joe Biden saying the US will provide and control taxes globally related to crypto and provide all these informations to other nations. I mean, they said this. And that wasn't when what? I think that was 2021. So it was clear they could have on geopolitical levels, you know, problems, conflicts, but it seems when it comes to crypto, they are fine. When it comes to a World Government Summit in Dubai, everything is fine. They talk each other, they give them a hug and handshakes and, oh, how are you doing? Yeah, whoa, yeah. But you're saying, forget that we are on the World Government Summit here. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, yeah, wow, fine, everything is fine. That's so stupid. But that's politics. That's really politics. So to expect that centralized exchanges can escape from the US because the US will start to push, and I mean, we see what's happening. Even now, Signature Bank and some other people saying, hey, they are confirming. I mean, yeah, we can talk about Signature Bank and that they didn't, do any great job in the past, but at least it wasn't ready to seize or to close them. But they did. It seems, a political motivated thing. Another signal indicating you that their reward risk ratio is in favor of their risk part and not of their reward part. And as mentioned, crypto, like other revolution in technology, it went up like hell and it crashed, but it survived and it changed our daily life. And that's what crypto will do as well. I am a fan of regulation because I think regulation is partly also in our hands. When people are saying, hey, Bitcoin is freedom, democracy, and bullshit. We don't need Bitcoin in democracy. Democracy means you can elect a government, and the mass will decide. The mass is deciding. I have said that just yesterday. The problem is that the mass don't care about politics. That's the problem. They have enough. They don't care, and that's why we say, well, then we need something, an instrument, a tool like Bitcoin. You know what I think. If I would live in a society where I can trust everyone, even my government, I don't need Bitcoin, right? For what? I know that the money I'm going to transfer is okay. I know that what I'm going to say, it doesn't matter if it's for or against my government, if I'm whatever, it will not have any consequence. They can't seize my account, they can't, we remember the truck demonstrations in Canada. We remember a lot of different scenarios we had in the past where they just seized, closed accounts, and, that's just because we don't trust those people who the whole or the majority of your nation elected. And that's the big problem. That's a big problem that no technology will fix. Not even Bitcoin. Even I really like Bitcoin. And yes, I don't trust. And that's why I like Bitcoin. Because of course I see that's hope, but it will not fix these problems. It will not help you from cancer, or it will not stop letting other nations having military conflicts or wars or whatever. How many Bitcoin Marxists are saying like Bitcoin would be a religion? I don't know. I don't like this kind of fanaticism. But whatever. We will see really big challenges in the future, and also, in my opinion, that's the plan. The big reset. Build back better, and all these United Nations 2030 agenda and whatever. I mean, we can say that's conspiracy, and I think they know that our financial system is, it's just on the top. It's on the max. We can't just go more up and up and up and up. It's impossible. It's not. If that would be part of the nature, I would be now 350 years old and talking to you because I would never die. It's not part of the nature. Everything has an end. And yes, it's like cycles, but not what you think related to Bitcoin and cycles. So every 4 years we will go to moon, and we did 20K, then afterwards we did 60K, next time we do 600K, and then 5 billions. No. That means it will crash and something new will come out, or maybe the same thing will come out stronger, with full regulated, of course in control of the government we are going to elect. Yet we can elect them, so be really happy, and you can. I mean, I don't know if we will have the same option in 50 years, to be honest. But now you can. Now you can talk to your neighbors. You can tell them, hey, guy, look here. The same Bitcoin Marxists are doing, convincing with argument, some of them with sense and others without, but don't care. But the motivation to change is there. And in my opinion, that's the big problem we have in our societies. And of course, those societies who have the big motivation to change something big, usually they will get some, they will be punished by, the government, police, military, like we have seen in other countries as well. So it's in our hands every day, every single day. Yeah. Let us talk about something more serious about the market. Let us talk about what's happening to Bitcoin, what we think can happen. And 30 minutes, that's my longest Inspos initial comment. I'm proud of it. You can skip it. So big love. So then let us see. Well, first of all, the waste ratio 1 day time frame is indicating here, we need to see. We really need to see because I'm saying just that more Bitcoins are coming in. And yeah, it looks like a little bit controlled. It looks like, hey, let us make, go a little bit more up. However, usually when the weights ratio 30 days moving average starts to decline, afterwards it starts also to have its effect and impact to the price. So we need to see what's going to happen. It pushed very hard to the upside. Now it's really dumping a lot, as you can see, also indicating they are sending less Bitcoins right now to centralized exchanges. But the weights ratio is not, and in particular the 30 days moving average or the daily view is not directly showing you or indicating, hey, they are sending now Bitcoins to sell immediately afterwards. It's more an indicator showing you the whale sentiment and preparation phases. So they are done, and now usually we should see the next step, because that's exactly what we had over and over again. For example, we were pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, and the price was pushing up. Then it started to decline, and afterwards the price started to decline. And that's every time, when it started to decline, it pushed up, push up, push up, while the raise ratio went down, then a little bit more up, then declined, and afterwards the price nuked. And that's something what the weights ratio is showing you. It's much more a preparation phase of weights. If we take a look to the weights ratio 1 hour time frame, it's completely different. It's really completely different. If we take a look, for example, here we can see down, up, up, and more up. So indicating here, let the price go up, and then let the price go down, because the sell pressure starts to go up. And usually when the weights ratio 1 hour time frame is going up in trend, is really indicating sell pressure is happening or will follow relatively immediately afterwards. So it maybe takes some hours, but usually it is short term. If we take a look to the weights ratio 30 hours moving average, it declined this time. It bounced almost at 80 once again, and it started to push up, not even to 84, declined once again to 82, and now it's showing, it will go up. We need to track the weights ratio 30 hours moving average now even more closely, because the weights ratio 30 hours moving average is indeed one indicator that can show you a big sell pressure coming. Usually when we see everything above of 90, that's what it should happen. That means, they are loading the gun. Usually afterwards you hear the shot. So we need to see. We really need to see. We see here even a little bit more green than red. That's our net flow. But that's it from here. Let us go to the next chapter. So if we take a look, we can see that also here, related to CryptoQuant, more Bitcoins are arriving. Just in the last few hours, 2,000 Bitcoins here, then another 1,000, another 1,700, and then that's it. So indicating they sent here 2,000, 3,000, almost 5,000 Bitcoins, while here withdrawed 1,500, another 400, so 1.9, indicating we still have a gap of 3,000 Bitcoins, and usually the price starts to decline and they buy the dip. However, I'm tracking a little bit the BUSD on Binance, because they sent all these almost 1 billion to their hot wallet Binance 14. and I was tracking them, and it was absolutely interesting because until it was today midday something, we still had 1 billion there, and now we have, let me check, we have there now oh, I need to check here, where's my chart now? Oh yeah, 876 millions. So almost, it was a little bit more just before. I don't know if they received more once again. I'm not sure, but I don't think they received something. But it seems they already used almost 200 millions. And the price is not moving, so they are absorbing all the bitcoins they are arriving at the moment, it seems. Yeah, 877 million, so almost 140 150 millions gone without that anything is happening, while the balances of the centralized exchanges are lifting up more and more and more. That's something I will show you just in the next chapter. So unfortunately, we don't have a net flow related to stablecoins here, but I don't know, CryptoQuant has a lack of data related to stablecoins at the moment. I don't know why. However, we will check now the net flows and we will see. So now we can check what's happening here, and this is really serious in my opinion. That's what's happening here. It's, in my opinion, indicating something big is going to happen. We had bigger volume just before, so if we compare that, we can say, that's nothing, Inspo. But the problem is the whole environment changed. That's the problem I see here. We have less access to liquidity from outside, because all the crypto banks are gone. Of course, Tether. Nobody knows where Tether is making their money. I guess they have a printer at home or something, as it is, I think, a company moving billions, but it just have five persons. I think their staff is relatively small, or the staff count. I would be extremely careful here, because the price dumped from, we remember, 25 whatever to 20k, and we will check that the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges didn't decline that much. So that's, if that was the result of a little sell-off or distribution, I don't want to know what will happen in case they really press the red button. And I have said yesterday as well, I don't want to spread any fear. I just want to make clear why I cashed out, and why I think to go all in on crypto like Binance did, it seems, it's extremely risky. Well, let us go forward, because you're, I think, saying, oh, what 80,000? Well, what are you talking about? I'm talking about that here. So we went down very hard from 25 to almost 20,000. And you can see what happened to the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges. It declined as well. It was almost, 20,000 Bitcoins or something. But now you can see what happened afterwards. So they pushed much more. And we have right now almost 80,000 Bitcoins on centralized exchanges. They are waiting there. Nobody knows for what exactly. Nobody knows. Absolutely nobody knows. With all these Bitcoins, you can do two things. You can sell them. You can use them maybe to derivative exchanges, to use them for a long or short or whatever. You know, usually one indicator to see a little bit the sentiment is market maker. You see bigger inflows coming from the market maker, you know it's not bullish. It's a very simple rule, and that works over and over again. So when you see that, take into account that we had an action that was political motivated, for example, to close the Signature Bank. I have mentioned what happened in 2021 when Yellen just almost triggered the sell off because of a rumor. Let us combine both. You have 80,000 bitcoins waiting there. You know that your counterpart has a limited liquidity there. So the risk is on their side. You have maybe even the power of the media. You can maybe also trigger a sell off with a rumor, with, I don't know. I mean, I'm still missing any kind of message by the Department of Justice. We remember this Russian nobody knew just before arrested in Miami, and where the Department of Justice named in particular Binance, that they used mainly Binance for money laundering and whatever. Since then, did you hear something about that? Nope. Absolutely nothing. But instead, they started to cut off liquidity to the market, to the crypto market. And what is next? Everything looks like a planned operation. You can say, hey, Inspo, now that's too far, buddy. That's really, yeah, maybe I really hope I'm totally wrong, but I smell here a big fishy operation coming. The 80,000, I mean, if we take a look here, weekly, 42,000 bitcoins, weekly. This week, guys, check your calendar when this week started. And that's just the net flow. That's just the net flow. I mean, that's crazy. That's just crazy. Of course, they can say, hey, cool. Binance is providing 1 billion exit liquidity. Well, then let us send 40,000 bitcoins. Maybe they will buy all of our bitcoin. Maybe we'll maintain 25k and that's it. But the key here is that it seems that the government is very motivated. I wouldn't say to kill crypto, because it's part of an agenda. They are not going to kill it. It will, in that case maybe it will die, and this will be transitory. It will not disappear. Believe me, because otherwise I wouldn't spend one single minute here. Really not. I know that crypto will make us very wealthy because we are really still early stage. It's really early stage. Nobody will touch Bitcoin in the beginning crypto in general, sorry, not Bitcoin. Oh my God, I don't know why I had Bitcoin in my mind right now, but crypto in general, trust me, you will see that. Mark my words. I don't know if it takes 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 months, or maybe a whole year. I really don't know. That's the problem. It is a process. And we will check the data and we will see. But the thing is that everything is looking, at the moment, not good at all. And not just because of the data, also because of the whole environment, what's happening at the moment. Just to have something in mind. Let us go forward. So if we take a look to the future market and what's happening there, for example, we can see that I need another color. Okay, thank you. No. Funding rate lifted up like crazy. It declined a little bit, lifted up even more, declined a little bit, and now it's here. If we take a look to the open interest, Look that. But the most important part is leverage ratio. What is happening to the leverage ratio? What is happening here? My own interpretation is they're expecting a high volatility. That's what I'm expecting here. And that's why they are using now more money but less leverage. We will use the Kingfisher map as well to see, and blockchain whispers, of course, to see if they are longing more or shorting more. At least we can see here that the funding rate is lifting up and it's in a positive level, indicating they are demanding more longs than shorts. If we take a look here, for example, that would be our net flow related to stablecoins and derivative exchanges. And well, it looks more red than green, indicating they are taking more money out than pumping money to derivative exchanges. If we take a look here, for example, it looks a little bit different. It seems they are sending and using a little bit more bitcoins to derivative exchanges, but the net flow 2,300 bitcoins here, another 2,300 bitcoins here, and here, for example, we had almost 2,700 bitcoins here, but 1,900 bitcoins here. So if we take a look here, we can see that at least yesterday it was more green than red, and today it's almost neutral. If we go forward, also here you can see that's, for example, I need to reset the chart now. We can see that the open interest went up extremely, but the leverage ratio not. We can see that the funding rate, the aggregated, maintains positive, indicating they are demanding more longs. I mean, if we check yesterday, for example, yesterday we liquidated 2,885 shorts, so 2,885 bitcoins in shorts, and 2,315 bitcoins in longs. That's what we did. If we go now to the blockchain whispers, we see it's almost 50-50. We see it's 1.2 billions against or versus 1.159 billions in short. So it's almost 51 to 49. On Ethereum, even a little bit more for longs, 54 to 46. In my opinion, it's not clear, and people or the market is divided in, well, from here we can go down or we can go more up. And just to make sure, for a clear understanding, I don't know if we will nuke from here directly or if we will go up a little bit more. We remember some option traders, for example, trading 28K and so on. I wouldn't care that much about if we are going to nuke from here or not. I think in case we are very close, we will get some signals about that, I guess, because that's what usually happened in the past. So, but of course, I mean, if we have the risk of a financial crisis and so on and so forth, and markets and those connected algos from SPY, SPX started to create a sell-off also on Bitcoin and crypto in general, that could have also an impact here. So I would be careful. On Bitfinex, nothing have changed. Shorts declined, 20 millions right now, and well, the longs always very high. Now let us take a look to the Kingfisher. I need just to all leverage. And yeah, well, 180 millions, okay, it declined, but it's obvious that the thing is, for a perfect interpretation of the Kingfisher, I would need someone that tells me what it means 174 millions liquidation cluster. Does that mean 174 million option future positions are there to get liquidated? I think that's too much, 174, if we take a look how much we have there, but I really don't know. However, a concentration of liquidation clusters are here and are here. On the long side, on the short side, only here. So indicating, hey, if you want to liquidate big, then you need to go down and not up. But I don't know. So if we go and take a look to the high leverage positions, for example, wow, then we need to go up for sure first. I mean, it's 12 million, that would be here, that would be the maximum, 11.7 million, almost 25k. So to go up to 25k and then go once again down would be also possible. Just to have in mind when we are talking about futures. And I guess just to push up to 25k is not going to be maybe that easy. Even we are not really far away, right? So we are at 24.6. So it could be possible to push up to 25k. Yeah, it depends how much liquidity it will take to push up, of course. So that's it. Let us go forward. So let us take a look. The scale looks good, looks really good. And wow, let us take a look here. That's 0.59. Okay, the magnet is 24.5. That's a bearish, so means that should be our resistance, a very solid resistance at the moment. And we should then go hitting 23k, would be the next 24, then after 23k. But even there we have more put gamma than call gamma. 23.5 could be a nice support area. So yeah, we need to see, but it looks at the moment more solid to hold 24.5 and not to liquidate everything above. But gamma can change, so it's fine. Well, we'll see. If we take a look to the gags, almost 200,000, it's clear we have much more space to the downside than to the upside. So if we take a look here, bull call spread. Okay, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Wow, 4.7 millions in premium. That's really a lot. 187 millions in notional. Wow. So bullish, bull diagonal spread, bullish, short risk reversal, bearish, custom strategy, nobody knows. If we take a look here, yeah, this time it makes sense just to check the first four. Okay, let us take a look. So then the bull call spread is here, and we have 14, only 14. Okay, that's crazy. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Here's someone really, really, really making big bets. That's not bad. That's really not bad. So indicating here, and that's from today. That's really crazy. Wow. I'm a little bit really. That's bullish. That's fucking bullish, and that makes me a little bit wow. So indicating here, they would expect until end of May to see a price between 32 and 38. 24.28 until end of June, 32.38, 32.35. And you can check. I mean, they, for example, sold calls 38K for 226 and bought calls 32K for 615. So we have a gap here of almost 400. Here another 450. Here another 300. So that's really big. I don't know if that's maybe that's really big. I mean, I guess you are hearing that. I'm really speechless to see that because, of course, I mean, they have time. That doesn't mean we can't go down a little bit and then more up, but because nothing is really short term, right? Even that here, it's for end of April. So this here, well, that's retail, so it doesn't count. But this one here is indicating May and June they are expecting really a price hitting 30, 34, even hitting 40K. Of course, I mean, we don't know who is behind, we don't know who is making this trade, we don't know if that's a gambler with a lot of money, maybe Justin Sun or someone, or we don't really know that. So we need to take it as it is, and we also know when the price started to decline, they were just expecting, the next crash. Then when the price bounced, then they expected the next moon. So also option traders are just human. But when I take a look here and I see that here involved we have almost 4.7 million US dollars, it's not peanuts, and that's not retail for sure. So we should have this in mind. At least, May, June. Interesting. Really interesting. Bull diagonal spread with calls. We have here 16 positions. And if we take a look here, for example, we can see that it's relatively indicating almost the same. For example, here they are expecting to see a price above of 30K until end of June. And they spent here once again 400K. Wow. Also here, June, 30K. Another 400K gap. Here's someone making big bullish bets for Bitcoin related to option. It's not huge, but it's big. And we didn't see that for a while. We should have this in mind. But however, we are talking about, in 2 months. The question is what will happen just before or until then. That's the big question, because, that's a daily analysis. It's nice to see and to know, okay, but we need something more short term. Short risk reversal. The short risk reversal is, as you know, it's like a short futures. If we take a look here, we have 80 positions, and that looks a little bit different. For example, here they sold more, so indicating, that's the opposite, indicating they would see a price between 26, 21, but more hitting 21K and expecting we will break 21K until end of June. That was big, but they sold the call 26K for 460K, and they bought, for example, the puts 21K for almost 300K. So refinanced with the sold call. And that's absolutely different to the bull call spread and even bull diagonal spread with calls, where they had to pay on top. But it's short term. It's if we take a look, for example, here, expecting to see a price below of 24K until end of March, for example. We see here End of June, okay, until 17k. We see here end of March to see a price below 24k, below 24k. So it's short term, but not that bearish. They are just saying, hey, we will go down a little bit, but yeah, 23, 22, it's not that bearish. Custom strategy. Let us take a look to the custom strategy. Wow, we have 30 positions here. Something big. Yeah, here. That's big. So if we take a look, we can see, for example, the challenge here on the custom strategy, because the name is saying you everything. It's customized. We don't know exactly. It's a multi-leg strategy. They are using that here to minimize their risk, and they have other very bullish options trading happening there. We don't know. We can just read and imagine what it means. So if we take a look here, we have the same expiry, but we have here different strikes, 24k and 20k, with one call and one put. They sold both. So actually it seems they are expecting to see a price above of 24k, I guess. Otherwise, why to sell? And they say, very good. I mean, we are talking here about 900k. If we take a look here, for example, we have same expiry, 30 of June, different strikes, 30k and 28k, and both are calls. And they both, for example, the call 30k and they sold the call 28k. And here, if we take a look, well, they refine it. So they sold 28k call for $705,000, and they bought the call 30k for 675, but also indicating they are also indicating and expecting a price of 30k. Like, for example, the bull call spread and bull diagonal spread. I don't know why everyone, also option traders, are expecting to see such a high price. And that's very interesting. However, I will talk with George about that, because that's really wondering me to see such a high bull call spread, because that's notional 190 millions and 4.7 millions in premium. That's really crazy. So we are done here. Let us go forward. So once again, like yesterday, I will take the maximum that was here, and we can check what they have spent since then. So if we take a look here, for example, that's Binance BTC USDT. We see here minus 84 million, not bad. And CBD, if we take a look, oh, that's always the same. That's really we can take a look here, for example, that's the aggregated one, indicating minus 67. So on Binance they are selling more, it seems, than on the aggregated. If we take a look related to BUSD, we can see here we did here minus 58 million. So on Binance selling, it seems. We take a look here, that's fiat US dollar. Wow, okay, that's also crazy. That's interesting. That's really big. 82 millions in fiat and in USD. So if we take a look, Bitcoin collateral, for example, minus 321 million, so selling more shorts instead of buying longs. And stablecoin futures, wow, not that much compared to the Bitcoin collateral. So interesting, very interesting what they are doing here. Why is the BTC USDT from at Binance that high, so negative? Once again, CBD, cumulative volume delta, means, you know, the gap between buys and sells. If we go forward, we can see here the aggregated, so means everything is checked, USD, USDT, whatever, indicating they're not declining that much, like for example BUSD on Binance. Bitfinex, not really distributing, or well, a little bit, but nothing big. Bybit pushing up. Coinbase pushed up a little bit, now declining. Wow, Bitstamp. Wow, what is happening here? Bitstamp once again doing a great job. That's not the first time that they know where's supposedly the top and just distributing. Kraken, well, and I guess Gemini doing the same. Well, yeah, but not big at all. Not big at all. So if we take a look now here, we can check if something big is going to happen. So we had here, first of all, for today. Let us start with today. Today. So today we started with 707 million outflows in stablecoins. That was this morning. Then the next big one, another 474 millions. That was in the midday. Outflows. Inflows almost nothing. Then another 200 millions here in outflows, but 175 millions inflows. Then we had here another 200 million. Oh, do you know what? It makes more sense if we make on that way. That's better. So you can see blue is outflows, 700 millions outflows. Then we had here outflows, then again inflows, almost the same. Here a little bit more inflows, then once again big outflow, another 460 millions, then 56 millions out, 100 millions in, 137 millions in, 150 millions out, and so on and so forth. So they are taking profit. Then we receive 1.5 billions here and 843 millions outflows. Then another 60 millions in, almost nothing out, and another 580 millions in and 230 millions out. I would say that's almost 1.2 billion, maybe 1.2. Yeah, I would say it's even a little bit more on the, yeah, it's more outflows than inflows. Nothing huge, but however, I mean, this money is coming in and also means they can push up the price, maybe then hitting to 25k to liquidate them. If we take a look to Tether, for example, we can see we had here some bigger outflow, 64 millions, another 55. Then we receive 50 millions, big outflow, then big inflow, 80 millions, outflow, mix of inflows and outflows, another 30 millions here, and so on and so forth. And right now coming more money, so indicating usually we should go a little bit more up. If we take a look here, USDC, 130 millions came in here, and then they started to take out the money, 26 millions here, another 80 millions outflows here, then another 50 millions here, 50 millions in, and 105 millions out, and so on and so forth. So I don't know why, but today it looks also here that Tether is more the liquidity provider than USDC, for example. The difference here, Tether only based on Ethereum, because I don't have, for example, Polygon or some other chains. Here it's only Ethereum, and also USDC it's only Ethereum. So that's why I also use the whole stable coins, because it makes more sense for me. Let us take a look here now what these guys are doing, and we can see that Retail declined a bit, but it seems, not that big. This guy's declined. This guy's lifting up. This guy's lifted up a lot, now declining a little bit. Market maker is just reducing more and more and more their balances, and these guys of course pushing up, and here not happening anything. If we take a look to the count of their wallets, we can see they are pushing up more. We can see they're pushed a lot. We can see that even the market maker received more and they declined. So it seems reducing balances, shifting to these guys, and I guess some retail and so on, little whales just shifting to the others. Well, but if we take a look here, and that's the main point for me when I take a look what the market maker is doing, is if I see any outflows from them, and the last bigger outflow was today midday 2,500 bitcoins. So it doesn't look like we are on a situation of high volatility at the moment. Something should happen soon, but when, nobody knows. If we take a look to the weights ratio, we can see that, for example, Bitstamp, that's interesting. Bitstamp weights ratio lifted up to 77% yesterday, now selling. It's very interesting. And here Huobi lifted up, but not big enough. So everything else looks relatively quiet, to be honest. Funds, once again, they are declining more and more and more. We can also see here that the futures volume is rising compared to the spot. That's also very interesting, because it's not like the last time. The last time retailers started to buy, and now it's not happening. That's also very interesting what they are doing here. And yeah, that's it also from here. So let us go forward. So if we take a look, we see we have here a bunch of volume between almost 23K. On the other side, they are here, for example, waiting at 25.3, 26.5, 27, and also here, for example, well, I mean, if we take a look, the biggest last, it's at 40K. Otherwise, we have here 31, 33, and so on and so forth. Here, waiting a lot at 30K. But it was just in the beginning, so it's nothing new, to be honest. I'm always looking for something new. They are removing some liquidity to the downside, but all this here maintains very intact, and that, even here removed, and now it's 16.5 placed a new wall there. Bitstamp, the big seller at the moment. The big seller is right now waiting between 28.5 and 30K. Also here limiting a little bit, it's 26.3, otherwise to the downside at 20,000. Wow, look at that. I mean, they reinforced M 15.7. Interesting. So if we go forward, BTC USDT, once again, we can see here, we don't have anything big. They started here to place an order at 30K. We have here, for example, 28K, also some volume, but nothing big, 27. And right now also protecting that area here, 25. So we have something there, and right now you can see what they are doing, right? So that happened today, just a few hours ago, when the price started to decline, like, hey, we are here and we will protect. That's a little bit a message, in my opinion, to the bears. So try it. But you know, of course, I mean, centralized exchanges are in advantage because you are going to use, you can use OTC, of course, but at the same time, you know, if you use algos, that's absolutely different. But if you have 80,000 bitcoins on centralized exchanges, the centralized exchanges know that you have those bitcoins there, you know, so they can prepare itself in case of course, I mean, if OTC and algos try to start the sell off, that's going to be crazy. So anyway, my expectation here is absolutely volatility, because even if they push hard down, we will see also moments where it will rise up very hard. And even if we push up hard, hitting 30K, the resistance will be insane, in my opinion. So it's not going to be very easy. Absolutely not. So at the moment we have a local POC here, 24, and we are above. So we're close to break this one. Then they recovered again, and you can see all this here, right? So we are talking about how much is that? Can I see that? So 7,500 bitcoins until 22,400. That's almost 3,000 bitcoins more than on the other side. That's really crazy what they did here. But in my opinion, that's just a message. I don't know if that's spoofing or not. It's possible, you know, but you can see what they did. I mean, the price was declining, and the next candle, boom, all these orders appeared at once. You know, organic market. If we take a look here, for example, on BTC BUSD, we can see 24K also their protection area right now, maintaining the price below 24.6 and so on and so forth. So then, yeah, BTC BUSD 20K as well, but that's it. Bitfinex, BTC USD. On Bitfinex, nothing to the upside, only until 29. At the moment, protecting the area 22.8 and 20,500, but nothing, really, absolutely nothing that looks different as usual. Well, on OKEX right now, just here protecting a little bit at 25K, but nothing big. Kraken here also with an order 29.5, reinforcing right now 27, and but at the same time you can see everything between 23 and 22.4 also well protected. Yeah, so neutral. BitMEX, it looks like a little bit we have two parties here, and they have two different interests. Bybit derivatives, here at the moment, yeah, they are protecting here 24/7 at the moment, nothing big. That was with USD, now USDT, here nothing. BTC USDT perp, also nothing, and declined a lot in volume, it seems. Also here you can see what they did. So like with spot, and then they remove that again, but you can see what they are doing here. Yeah, also nothing to the downside. BTC BUSD, also interesting. They triggered a long here, it seems, at 24 with 565 bitcoins. So then BTC per Bitfinex. On Bitfinex they are here waiting at 26, otherwise here 23.5. Kraken futures, OKEX futures, Nothing. And Deribit. On Deribit, they are, well, that's nothing new. That's very old here. All these, they removed even some volume here. They placed a new wall here, 26.6. And yeah, some here 23. Otherwise, we still have here at 19k and so on, but nothing big. So they removed a lot of volume here, as you can see. That's it. So if we take a look now here to the charts, first of all, as just mentioned yesterday, if you want to continue, usually we should go up and bounce here and then go up once again. That would be, for example, to retest a break and to confirm got rejected here and then directly go up, means to go down to 23k and afterwards go up once again. In case of we bounce once again here at almost 24k where we have our support area, this box is also a little bit older already, but that at least it's something we need to check. 23k, that's in my opinion the next step. We should go down because we are above of the local POC here at 23,200. Usually we should then of course go down, retest that area here, and then maybe bounce. But when I see such already almost driven by futures, it's for me something that is worthless. And usually the price should go down, hitting, for example, once again to this trend line here, 19k, and then maybe go up once again. Making such kind of move like, boop, 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 and then finally go up, or doing exactly the opposite. But that's something we need to see. Usually when you see something like this, you would expect the price should go up. But that's something we need to see because, as mentioned just in the beginning of this video, we have a lot of Bitcoins on the centralized exchanges. And at the same time, as we have seen just today in related to options, I mean, they are spending a lot of money in bullish option strategies, indicating to go 30k and above. As we don't know who is driving the market right now, as we don't know a lot of things, and we can see they love to use futures to push up the price. You can do that with high leverage, but they are not trading high leverage at the moment. We have seen they are using more open interest, indicating that their positions are big, but they are not using high leverage anymore. So why did they use high leverage until now, and now they want to use spot instead? For what? Why to miss the dip at 18k, for example, and push up very hard with futures, and now to decide, hey, let us buy everything and spend all the billions we have now at 24k because it's cool, or what? I don't get that. I'm missing something, it seems, but I don't get that. However, I'm still convinced that the whole thing is just a trap. The whole fucking thing is just a trap. We remember here we went down, we went up, we went down, and in my opinion, even we will go back to 26.3 to liquidate all these late shorts. So maybe go down, push up very hard, and then finally go down. But in my opinion, we will go down. That's still my personal conclusion. Yes, short term. I don't know if the option traders are right, if they are insiders, if someone is making a big bet because they need it and their plan is to push up the price as much as they can. Nobody knows the background. That's the problem when you are analyzing the market, because we have a nice view, we can see what they are doing, but we don't know why. That's the problem. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time, and then we will see and find more data, and then it's like another piece of the puzzle that gives you a better picture. We need to wait for exactly that. Be patient, be absolutely careful with your money. It's your money, it's not mine. So be extremely careful with your money. Be careful using leverage. If you see these guys are not using leverage, I wouldn't use high leverage as well, to be honest. If you ask, well, what is 5, maximum 10? That would be maximum, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Absolutely not recommendation. Big love. See you tomorrow. Your Inspo.